if you fall into that category and you feel like, no, I'm not a shady bitch, I just traumatized, hi, hello, welcome. Hey guys, when I tell you guys, I am in my YouTube bag. Like, I am just like full of content ideas, full of just ready to say what I want to say. And I don't know, I'm telling you, I'm just on this new wave. I'm on a new kind of energy, okay? Because first and foremost, I've said it on the community tab. I think I've said it multiple times, but I just want to keep reiterating the fact that I am so appreciative of y'all, like, really just like here for the content and like here for like what I have to say and like where I'm going with it and stuff like that. And my hair looks crazy. I recorded the last video earlier today. Like, it was fresh. I freshly did my hair, freshly did my makeup. This is kind of like the vibes that I'm going with because I wanted to do a, like, can we talk? Like, I feel like that's this, like, the segment, I guess, of like, can we talk? Like, when you hit up your homegirl and be like, girl, can we talk? Because I want to get this off my chest. I want to like say something. So I just want to talk to you guys and just really be a lot more forthcoming, I guess, because I do feel like sometimes it's really hard to just like find people that relate. And you know, when you like say something, this little piece of hair, like, I cannot get these hairs to go down, but I put so much gel. It's kind of hard, you know, when you're talking to somebody and like they either don't relate or they're just like not paying attention and you're just kind of like, okay, like, I'm just gonna stop talking now, or like you kind of feel like nobody cares kind of thing. I feel like that with with a lot of topics that I talk about, and I've been wanting to talk about this one for like a minute. So get what you gotta get your wine, get your coffee, get whatever it is, because I really just want to have I feel like these Can We Talk segments are just gonna be very candid conversations, very unfiltered as far as like just kind of saying whatever and not trying to be so like dance around the topics type shit. So get what you need to get so we could talk, girl, because I have a lot to say. So what inspired this conversation was I was talking with my older sister, and I feel like this kind of happens a lot among sisters because I don't know. Let's just give you guys a background. Like I mentioned in my Our Kids Really Worth It video, we grew up very isolated, like in the sense of we did not have like cousins. We did not go to our grandma's house. We did not go to our aunt's house. We didn't grow up like that. So me and my sisters are extremely close, like this close, okay? And I think it's great because I love the relationships that I have with my sisters, and I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't get to have. And I know a lot of sisters are like this too. Like, I feel like if you have sisters, you get that closeness and that bond. And as much as I appreciate that, I do feel like it hinders you in a lot of ways because it's almost like I don't have to make friends because I have sisters. I don't need friends. I don't need to like make the effort with other people because I already have sisters. And the way that like we were raised, and the way, especially like my mom, I find it very weird when I see like siblings like calling each other bitches, and like Krishan and her sister, and like just, I don't know, maybe it's the media, but like how I see people think that it's like normal to like go crazy on your sister and like fight like that with your sister. I've never been that way because like my mom like drilled it in us, like, you guys aren't strangers, you're sisters. You guys aren't strangers, you're sisters. When we would fight, when we would do stuff like that, my mom just kept doing it, made us hug, made us get over it. And so we built a very strong foundation in the sense of like, no matter what happens, like, that's my sister, you know? So I think that because of that, that has hindered the way that I see friendships. And I've said this all over my channel. I don't have friends. I don't have friends. I'm not a friends person because a lot of just weird stuff tends to happen to me. A lot of weird stuff just like tends to happen to me. Whether you could say it's my fault, whether it's not my fault, or whatever it is, I just always kind of write it off where it's just like, I don't care because I don't need friends. Like, I have sisters. Like, I don't need friends. And I feel like a lot of times, and it's so funny because the reason why okay, so the conversation with my sister, I'm going to tell you guys in a second, but also what kind of fueled this video was Pops by Cherry made a video about her friend, her longtime friend, and how they fell out. And she was basically saying that if you see a girl that doesn't have friends or like goes through friends, like it's them. And as much as I do agree to a certain extent, like I feel like there is a certain type of person that has a certain type of personality, and if they don't have friends, like that makes sense. And then I do feel like there is like another side to that. Like, not every woman without friends is not a shady bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like there are a lot of us that fall within the same category of just like, I'm not gonna deal with weird shit. Like, I'm just not. Like, I know for a fact, like, I don't sit here and try to, like, take people's man. I don't steal. I don't, like, I'm not on some weird, grimy, shady stuff with other girls. But I don't have friends. Wanted to talk about that because I feel like there is a alternate side to that, where some of us fall into the category. It's like, yeah, I just don't have friends because I'm not willing to deal with the weirdos. Like, I don't have the time for it and I don't want to deal with it and stuff like that. So I wanted to talk about it because I feel like I fall into that category, which, like I said, a lot of the times it's very easy to be like, if you don't have friends, you're always falling out with people, you're always, you know, like something's always going on, like take a reflection on like yourself. Which is why I wanted to do the story time first before I made this video, because that's literally a prime example of what I be talking about. Like, I don't have friends. I have my like 3 homegirls, 3 of them. Like, those are my only 3 people. But either way, like, we don't live close to each other, so it's very hard to just like, it's hard to have like that best friend. Like, I don't have that. I do like have, I would consider the homegirls that I do have, I would consider my best friends because they're the best ones that I have, and they're like the closest that I'm to, and I can call them and I can share stuff with them. We have a good time together. But as far as like having that one person or that friend group, like, no, I don't have that. And it's because of like the video that I told y'all before. Like, I don't know like what more I could have done to like try to make the situation go differently, and yet you're doing weird stuff to me, dude. Like, how am I forbidden from your house when you were the one that did all this craziness to my house? Like, and that's like my mentality for like a lot of stuff. And so when you have like, when you constantly hear that and when you're constantly seeing that everywhere, like, I don't have just people randomly telling me that. I'm just saying, like, when you see it on Twitter, when you see it on other people's story times and things like that, where they're just like, yeah, if a girl doesn't have any friends, like, that's her, like, that's a red flag and blah, 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 which I 100% understand in those certain circumstances. But in certain cases, it's just like, I just feel like I'm constantly finding myself in the storytime situations where it's just like, what? Like, and also just a self-reflection portion of this. I am a very sensitive person. And because I am very sensitive, I don't seek out friendships because I don't want to put myself in a position where I can get my feelings hurt, because I feel things deeply. Like, and I'm not talking about like, I'll go into that in a second, but me and my sister were having a conversation, and I was basically telling her that, like, I feel like we kind of, like, did each other a disservice of being so close, because now that we're all just living our separate lives and we all live in different places and we're at different points in our lives, it is beneficial to have people you can talk to, that you can relate to, that are with your common interests. I love my sisters down. We all consume completely different media. Like, I'm always on the Shade Room. Both of my sisters could care less about the Shade Room. I don't even think they, like, go on it. You know what I mean? And, or like, our music taste is completely different. Our interests are just completely different. We're three different people. So I think it's nice to have people that, like, you share common interests, that are in the same thing as you. But it's just so much harder as an adult, first of all, to even find friends. But second of all, when you have experienced, like, so much with friendships, it is kind of, like, discouraging. And it's almost like, because that's what I was telling my sister, it's almost like dating. Like, you have to put yourself out there and you have to make the conscious effort to find friends and to build friendships. Like, I love my homegirls. I have 3 specific homegirls that I'm constantly talking to and stuff like that. But we are all in different parts of our lives. Everybody's worried about their own things. Everybody's just trying to, like, figure shit out for themselves. So it's like, you have to make that conscious effort. Okay, like, if you're in town and I'm in town, do you want to do something? Do you want to meet up? Blah, blah, blah. And for me, this is going to be very victim mentality. Call it what you want. I don't give a fuck. A lot of things are just done to me that I do have the mentality of, like, things that were done to me, I would never do to other people. Like, and I don't know why I constantly find myself in these predicaments where things are just happening to me. And I know it sounds so victim. It's just like, oh my God. But, like, that last story time that I posted, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm trying to make a conscious effort into, like, adult relationships. We've gone out before. We've had such a good time. We've, done this, that, and the third. So I'm thinking, like, hell yeah, housewarming party. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a good time. Yada, yada, yada. Come to find out, you're a freaking weirdo. And you, like, think all this stuff is okay. And I'm just like, okay, maybe sometimes, like, because I tell my husband this a lot because I said it in that video. He's very laid back and he doesn't think about things, like, crazy. He literally takes things for what it is. He doesn't think people are throwing shade. He doesn't find anything, like, he truly does not take things for more or less than what it is. He just literally takes it as face value. So for me, I'm like, okay, like, the way he views things, I try to kind of see it that way. But also, like, I am my own person. I have my own mind. And inherently, things just piss me off. Things make me mad. Things hurt my feelings. And it is frustrating, especially me, because, like, I can assess myself enough. I'm very self-aware enough to know that, like, I do have anger issues. Like, I do, like, it doesn't really take much for me to pop off. It really doesn't. And so when I make a conscious effort to overlook things and work through that, and you basically just give me a slap to my face, it's just like, I feel very slighted and I can't get over it. And it's hard. And I try to work through it, and I am working through it. I'm trying to, like, because I'm not joking, y'all. That story time of me when I went off on that girl when I was wrong, it wasn't even the same girl. That's what I mean. Like, it took nothing for me to pop off. And I know where those qualities, where, like, my bad qualities have cost me certain relationships. I 100% get that. And I also know where I can cut people off very easily if I just think you're kind of being weird, I just won't ever talk to you again. And I don't feel like I owe you an explanation or anything like that, because in my head, and this is something that I'm trying to work through my marriage, for me, it's like you shouldn't have done it in the first place. I don't really care about what your explanation was. I don't care what made you think that this was okay. I don't really care. You shouldn't have done it in the first place. That's always been my thing, and I will cut somebody off because you should have never done it to begin with. And like I said, when you're married to somebody, you kind of have to work through that, because you can't just be like, oh, you should have never done it in the first place. Now I'm learning that everything's a matter of interpretation. Things are a matter of perspective. To you, it was a joke. To me, you're being shady. We got to work through that. You know what I mean? And so the same kind of like delicacy that I work through my relationship, my intimate relationship, it does mean like you kind of have to do the same thing with friendships. And I guess it took all this time for me now to realize that. But it's also hard when you have to like mix in that some people will just do shitty things to you because they're just shitty people. And like, I have been really trying to keep that in my head, because like as of recently, right, I had a girl who I was really close to, like really, really close to. And I met her through my husband, and like it was just such good vibes. Like I truly, and like the thing was, like I always told my husband, I'm like, the only reason we're not like raising hell together is because she went into the military. Like when I first met her, like we met each other, and then like 6 months later she went into the military. So like she got shipped off to boot camp, you know, all that stuff. But I always tell my husband, like, if she was here, like, it would have been over with. Because I feel like that would have been my best friend. I considered her one of my best friends. And, like, to make a long story short and not even get into all of it, because it's still, like, fucking hurts. Like, let's just say, just to make a long story short, for my wedding, right? I didn't want this stupid wedding. I did not want a wedding. I didn't want to deal with none of this. And I stand by the fact, don't have a wedding. That's all I'm going to say about that. But she was like, up until the wedding, bro, like that, I would consider her my best friend. Like we were homegirls. She was so cool. We talked all the time. You know, like I did stuff for her, she did stuff for me. Like I considered us very close. And it was just like really crazy that the wedding, like she just like didn't care in such a way. And I'm just not gonna get into it. Like I said, I'm sorry, I hate when people do that, but it's just like how to give context without telling the whole story. But it's just like, she truly did not care. Like, just late, didn't show up, didn't like know. And knowing how hard of a time that was, and like what I was going through within that whole process, and just like being a really big factor into why that day was just messed up for me. Like that, like really hurt me, because it's just like, it sounds so corny, but it's just like, you were supposed to be my friend. Like, if anybody was supposed to be, you know, like helping me out, it would have been you. And instead of helping me, you're just adding to the problem. And like, not only does that part hurt, but like, you know that you fucked up. It was like, I didn't have the time to go off on you. I didn't have the time to like, because it was my wedding. So it was like, you know, I didn't have the time to go off on you. I didn't have the time to, you know, address the situation with you and all that. Not only did I not have the time, but like, you didn't even care. And like, we haven't spoken since that day. And it's just like, you know, the people that I know, Like, you're very much involved in my life still, kind of. And yet, you just don't care. Don't care to address it. Don't care to talk about it. And it just, like, it's very hurtful for me that, like, I considered us close. I considered us very good friends. And for you to just, like, be a part of why, like, one of the most important days of my life was low-key ruined. And you don't even care to address it. You don't even care to just, like, nothing. So it's just, like, I didn't really mean anything to you anyway. I didn't really, like, I wasn't anything to you to begin with. Like, that's how I feel about situations. And that's what I mean. Like, I take things deeply because, first of all, I would never do something like that to you. And if I did something, because this is what I mean by this, right? I overanalyze everything because, to me, if you don't think you did anything wrong and you don't think there was no issue with what you did, why are you not talking to me? Why wouldn't you talk to me? Because if I didn't think I did anything wrong, I would talk to you like everything was regular. I would have texted you a meme. I would have sent you a TikTok. I would have been like, ha, 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 like normal. And then if I would have said something weird, I would have been like, oh, like, do we have a problem? So you know enough to know that we have a problem because you're not talking to me, but you're not going to address it because what? And from the way that we were, for it to go completely 180 and act like you don't even know me, you don't even care, that's why, like, and that's why I say, like, I think there is something to say about people. Yes, there are shady bitches, like I said, that don't deserve friendships, that do the craziest, most foul things, like sleep with your man and take pictures of your underwear. I think that is crazy. And the fact that people do that, that is weird, but neither here nor there. There are girls that are 100% like that, and they don't deserve friendships, and they should remain by themselves, and they are a red flag. But I think there's some of us on this side who are just traumatized. Like, I don't have friends because I'm traumatized. I just cannot imagine, like, putting myself in a position where I can allow a girl to, like, because everybody knows it. Friendship breakups hurt worse than a guy. I swear, friendship breakups are way more detrimental to your mental state than any man ever would be. Because it's just like, you are my girl. Like, you are my friend. We, like, share. Like, you know what I've been through. I know what you've been through. We've been through this stuff together. And you're gonna do that? That is so hurtful. And that's what I go back to, like, being, like, with my sisters. Because it's just like, my sisters would never do that. Like, I can literally put my life on the line and confidently say, like, my sisters would never do crazy stuff that, like, other people are capable of doing. And that's why I just get so, like, in my shell, because it's like, I could really like you as a friend, obviously. I could really like you, really enjoy your company, really like your vibe, but I'm never going to, like, call you my friend, because you're not gonna be able to hurt me, man. Like, I'm traumatized. And it's just crazy because, like, one of my homegirls, one of my closest friends, I could say, like, I could consider her, like, one of my best friends. But even still, it's like, we're best friends because, like, we're very close, but, like, you know, we don't talk every day. We don't, like, I think, I don't know. That's what I was gonna get at, right? I put a very heavy emphasis on friendship, which I know a lot of people don't. Like my homegirl, she has friends, like, she has compartmentalized her friendships. She has friends that she goes to the club with. If she wants to go to a club, she knows exactly who to call. They won't see each other any other time. Like, that's not the friend that you call if you're going through a breakup. That's not the friend you call if you're going to the hospital. That's not the friend you call, like, for none of that. That is strictly the people that you call when you want to go to the club. Then you have the friends that, like, if you want to go on a trip, those are the reliable friends that you know, or you're confident that you'll go on a trip with and everything, but nothing else. They don't really know your life like that, but they're a good time. Then she has her childhood friends that, like, they don't really know much about her going on now, but they're like this because they grew up together type shit. You know what I mean? And like with me, I really wish I was like that in a sense, because like I look at it, I'm like, girl, I don't know how you still talk to these people. I witness things, I see things, and I'm just like, that was shade. I don't know how you're still friends with her. I don't like, to me, I get so turned off so quickly because I am not going to allow you to do nothing. I'm not gonna let no girl that I feel like, because that's the thing with me too, like sorry, I'm just trying not to like scratch my makeup off. I just can't be like a filtered version of myself. I don't want, because how like people are like, oh, don't tell, you know, I don't tell certain people certain things about me. I don't have the time, the capacity, or the energy to try to filter what I can and can't say and do what I can. If I consider you my friend, I don't care. Like, I'm going to say whatever the hell I want. You know what I mean? Because you're my friend. And it's vice versa. You can tell me whatever you want. I don't have time to be like, I can't tell her this because, you know, she's going to go ahead and do this. And, or like the friends that like are very much like, oh, if my boyfriend calls, I'm out, I leave. Like, girl, I don't have time for that. Like, if a man can really control your life that much, like, I don't want to be like, it's so easy for me. I'm telling you, my turnoffs are like this. You could do one thing and I'm just like, yeah, no, you gotta go. Like, I'm not doing this with you. And at a certain point, like, I get that it is like a way of, you know, like, it is a way of protecting yourself, but at the same time, it's like, you can't be that strict, bitch. Like, you can't be so strict. And I think that that's where I'm getting myself at now, like I mentioned earlier, where it's like, I feel like I have probably forfeited a lot of potentially good friendships and stuff because I cut them off so quickly because I was Judge Judy. Like, and I know that about myself. So that's why I was telling my sister, like, I do think I'm going to look at friendships in like a different light, in a different way, because I do. And I also think that it has to do with like what you see when you're a kid. Like, I'm not gonna say that my parents were just different, you know? And so like my mom is so not like me, and the way she navigated her friendships and the way she navigated the people that she hung out with, I'm like, ma'am, like, no, ma'am. And I think that's another thing too, where it's like, I saw how people took advantage of my mom, and I saw how people like treat her, because my mom's very just like shy and very like, my mom will do anything and everything, but a lot of times people won't do it back for her. And like, I saw that growing up, and I'm just like, lady, why are you friends with these people? They're not your friends. Like, I'm the one telling her that. And I think subconsciously, because I saw that too, I'm just like, hell no, you're not gonna take advantage of me. You're not gonna do this. And also, like, I'm also married, and I think that comes with its like perks, and sometimes comes with its downfalls, because it's just like, I don't feel like I have anybody to impress because I already have a husband. Like, me and my husband are besties. Like, he goes where I go where he goes. Like, we're just two peas in a pod. But sometimes we're two firecrackers in a barrel, because I don't want to do the thing, like, not that I don't want to do the things that you do, but he's really into cars. Like, I don't give a fuck about cars. Like, and I'm into like podcasts. He doesn't watch podcasts. So like, I could talk to him all day about what I'm watching, but like, he's not watching it. So he can just, you know, yeah, that's crazy. Like, that's cool, interesting kind of thing. But it's like, we don't know what we're talking about. And I do see the value in female friendships. And I do want to try, but it's hard when you're traumatized. You know what I mean? Because like I told you, the girl that I used to live with, bro, like, that was my best friend. That was my best friend. And after everything was said and done, it really did hurt my feelings that she would take because it's almost like, really, bitch? You thought that that was like punch holes in the wall? Really? Like, we've been friends for years, and you would really think that I would sit here and punch a hole? You don't know me enough. And that's why, like, maybe I just take things too personally. Maybe I take things too to my heart, which I do have to work through. But I think, like, now I'm in the state of mind of, like, I am open, and I actually do, because I was telling my husband that, like, I was like, dude, I think I'm gonna like join a club or something, because when I was telling my sister, because my sister's like kind of antisocial, I was trying to just like tell her what to do, because like, you know, you're a mom, and you know, she kind of feels like isolated in like the whole mom world, because she doesn't feel like she relates to stuff. And I'm just like, well, you know, find stuff that you like, and eventually, like, you're gonna find somebody. And I'm like, girl, shut up and take your own advice, because I need to do that too. Like, I need to actively make it an effort. Right now, I ain't got no money, but when I do get my money back up, I am going to, you know, seek clubs and seek things that I have actual interest in, and make the effort, because I love YouTube, and I know that there are people out there that think like me. Y'all are just on the internet. I gotta find somebody in person that I relate to, because I also, like I was telling my husband, like, I tend to gravitate to people that are complete opposite of me, because I feel like I'm not joking, everybody around me is just very calm, like, not confrontational, cool as a cucumber. Everybody, like, all my friends, like all my homegirls, my sister, my husband, like everybody, I just get along with people like that, because I'm just so like, all the time, and they're not. So like, I'm really the epitome of opposites attract with everybody in my life. And I'm just like, maybe that's where I need to like learn how to control, like, I need to control myself and find somebody who's like me, so that way we could, you know, have a good friendship and a good thing. But it's just a matter of trying. So if you fall into that category and you feel like, no, I'm not a shady bitch, I just traumatized, hi, hello, welcome. We are gonna work through it. We're gonna work through it together. And like, the first thing that you have to do is just be like self-aware. Like, I could tell you all the bad things about me. Like, I could tell you all the bad things about me, why they happen to me, and like, you know, kind of thing, except for like those fluke incidents, or I don't know, like, you are just weird. But like, I could tell you all the, you know, issues that I have and what I need to work on and all this other stuff. But it's just about like, okay, it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to like do something about it. And so I'm in the do something about it stage of my life. So we're gonna do something about it together, okay? I don't have money for therapy, so this is what we gotta do, okay? This is how it works. And I'm gonna go through it, and as I'm going through it, I'm gonna share y'all how I'm going through it. So hopefully we can really just, you know, make the world a better place, one bad bitch at a time. So anyway, I hope this helps. I hope you guys are enjoying these, like, can we talk little segments. I am definitely gonna keep doing it. I'm definitely gonna keep talking about it, because this has really helped, like, me get my thoughts out there, as well as like, I've been really into the vibes lately of like my channel. So I really appreciate you guys. I hope this helps somebody. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and just try to be better, girl, and just make it through the next 24 hours, because then you get to start over tomorrow and figure it out. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video.